Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl.
Hola, mi nombre es Medrano. Nací y crecí en El Paso, Texas, junto al otro lado del Río Grande, desde una de las ciudades más pobladas de México, Ciudad Juárez. Crecí en El Paso, recibí una mezcla de ambas culturas americana y mexicana. Me enteré de las tradiciones culturales mexicanas, como la cocina tradicional mexicana, escuché folclore mexicano y con frecuencia visitaba Juárez como un niño. Creciendo como cerca de México como lo hice, que asumiría me siento como en casa con la cultura, pero sería un error. Soy tercera generación ciudadano de Estados Unidos y también soy la primera generación que no habla español.
The Spanish language is the one part of my cultural identity that I missed out on. Growing up in a predominantly Hispanic town, not knowing the language, made life difficult at times. I remember walking through downtown El Paso, hearing the buzz of people talking, a buzz oftentimes directed at me, a buzz that I could not comprehend.
I don't speak Spanish.
And I was always met with two responses. Oh, I'm sorry, I assumed you spoke Spanish, or you don't speak Spanish? Pero eres mexicano. And I honestly have no idea how many times I've actually heard that throughout my life. Hearing it makes me feel like less of a person. Like I'm not allowed to be a part of this culture because I don't speak the language. It makes me feel like less of a Latino because of my disability.
Well, I was told never to go to Juarez because it's dangerous there, and I don't speak Spanish and I'm pretty white, so I probably wouldn't stand a chance. That's what I was always told. But yeah, I guess I do live in the more Mexican part of El Paso. So like, a lot of people speak predominantly Spanish there. If I wanted to learn it, I could probably learn it. Probably no problems there. But I guess it's just not what I want to do. I don't know. I just never felt the need to learn it, I guess.
So, what are some of the reactions you get from those people when you tell them that I do not speak Spanish?
Most of the time they just like, well, if they know me, they're like, but your last name's Lopez. That's like the most Mexican last name ever. And I'm just like, okay, sorry. And then I just go on with my day. But yeah, that's how mostly how it goes. I guess it's a lot harder to understand some things. Like, you need to ask people, like, what this means, how does this apply, or what's the context of this. So I guess it gives you kind of an offhand understanding of it than if you knew the language for yourself.
Do you feel that you've missed out on an important piece of your culture because you don't know Spanish?
In some ways, sure. But I think I have the most important part of my culture, which is food. So I'm not that torn up about it.
So what are some of the reactions that you get when you tell people that you don't speak Spanish?
Initial reaction is usually shock, and there have been a few people who aren't very nice, and they tend to make fun of the fact that I don't know how to speak Spanish because I am Hispanic, but mostly it's just shock. I feel like I have a lot of disconnect as far as the culture and as far as the people. I tend to shy away from being around Hispanic people that I know speak nothing but Spanish because I feel uncomfortable, because I can't communicate with them. I can't even form a sentence. I just think that language is really important to a culture. It does set it aside from anything else that is around. The Mexican language is a beautiful language, for the most part. The culture, the Mexican culture is amazing. I've witnessed some really beautiful things being a part of the Mexican culture. And I feel like the language barrier just really kind of puts a stop on the enjoyment aspect of, of my own culture. Because, like I've said before, I don't always necessarily understand.
Knowing that other people have experienced the stigma of not knowing their cultural language hasn't really changed my mind on the subject. I still feel that it's an important part of one's cultural identity, but it's one of only several factors that contribute to it. At the end of the day, your culture is what you've experienced throughout your life. Is it too late to learn about your culture and what makes it unique? Never. Should you be willing to go out and acquire that knowledge? Well, that's entirely up to you. As for me, I know that I'm completely surrounded by my Mexican heritage, and there's nothing that'll be able to take that away from me.